Hello YouTube, how's it going? I'm Arlimisttv, and it's been a while since I've done one of these videos, so I hope you enjoy it. Icecrown Citadel was one that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I'm happy to be able to do it. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's begin. So to get started off here, we're going to take a look at my Death Knight's gear. My Death Knight does not have amazing gear, but they don't have terrible gear either. So here it is, and you can see my Death Knight's gear is not amazing. It's okay, but it is definitely not top end, so you don't have to be extremely geared to solo ICC anymore, so keep that in mind. And we're gonna go and skip through this trash real quick. So something that I did here, and I'd like to make a note of, I utilized my Death Knight's ability to control the undead. Getting this mob was not incredibly helpful, but it did do a little bit of extra damage, and it is helpful in some situations. If you're having trouble with damage in your Death Knight, I would highly suggest CCing or controlling one of the spider arachnid things, rather, and take one of them, because they can heal you and they don't do terrible damage. They're okay, not amazing though. So I renew my minion, and we go into the fight here. So I'll show you how much damage my minion does at the end of this, but let's see what happens. So Marigar is pretty simple. He's a tank and spank fight, especially if you're on your own. He does not do bone spikes on the tank. He does not do bone spikes on pets. He is legitimately a tank and spank. If you are level at least probably level 88, 89, and of course level 90, you should not have any trouble with the damage. You can see here, I don't even lose a single stack of my bone shield, and we even have these little guys help out and try and attack me, which, a side note, that minion helped out kill them because it's doing that little bit of extra AoE damage and making this a little bit easier on myself, knocking them down. So you can see it's not a big deal. I'm not taking any damage at all. The damage now is a joke, and just because I'm a DK does not mean that you cannot do this on any other character. Bone Storm, nothing to worry about. Of course, your pet doesn't get hit for that much. If you have a pet, you don't even have to move. You can sit here and stand in, because most of the fires are going to miss you. You can see here just my screen is being spammed with misses. And that's because I'm level 90. These spells are not going to hit. There's no reason for these spells to hit because I'm level 90. So that's pretty much the whole fight. There's nothing to it other than you can pretty much just tank them in place. You don't really have to worry about damage too much. And I guess if you're a class that doesn't have a lot of self-heals, you might want to watch out for those bone storms, because they can probably hurt you a little bit, but not too much. But let's move on to Lydia.
You have found your way here, as you are on the view, get to the truth, in a world cursed with blindness. All hands on your shroud, we're true, our lives. You're on your true hand. The self-mute, the dominant causing them. The weakness, the law, the fight by operation. This will find yourself in the position transcendent. You are massive, all things are possible. It's up, it is will unbending.
So Lady Death Whisperer isn't that big of a deal. She is not incredibly hard. You can see her renewed my pet again. She's not incredibly hard. The only hard part about her is her ads. The caster ad, I believe, is the adherent. You want to kill him immediately. He will put a curse on you that you'll see here later that makes all of your abilities have a 15-second cooldown. Of course, on top of whatever else the cooldown may be. So if you use Death and Decay, it has a 45-second cooldown instead of a 30-second cooldown. That kind of ordeal. It is very hindering to your damage as well as everything else. You just want to kill them immediately. I kind of hesitate on the second ones because I couldn't remember if they actually cast it in 10-man, but they do. It's whatever. Just make sure you kill them. They don't really have that much health. The melee ads don't do too much damage. When they get transformed, they will do an okay amount of damage. Not amazing, but an okay amount. You can knock those down if you want to. Again, if you don't have a lot of self-heals. You can see when they pop up on me, I don't take like any damage at all, and it's a joke. But that's all up to you. This fight is, again, somewhat of a tank and spank. Other than watching out for the curses and making sure you kill these ads here, and there's the debuff right there. Making sure you kill the ads. Other than doing that, there's really nothing to this fight. The Death and Decay is something to watch out for, but you can see, like, at the beginning of the fight, it's only doing 4k ticks on me, and that is nothing at level 90. So you can pretty much ignore all mechanics and just zerg the boss. And that's about all for Lady Death Whisper. Quick recap. Kill ads, kill her, win. That's about it.
All part of the Master's plan! Your end is...
Remember that Alliance goes left and Horde goes right.
Flying to transform brothers and sisters. The Cyber has already left. Waiting out. The war town. Even some community capture. All the Ghost warriors. The Alliance is great number here. Captain Sartek, will you please see on board Tower? In case, we'll secure the area until you're ready to take off. Over Tower infantry. Hold position.
You'll die!
Remember to pick up a backpack when you get in here and equip it. Make sure you put the backpack somewhere on your hotbars, and this will come into play. You'll see here very soon that you need to have this on your hotbars, or else you're probably going to fail if you're doing this by yourself. I had so many problems with Gunship, and here I'll have a little like fail montage here for you guys. It took me at least 30 minutes to kill Gunship. Finally I got it down, and it was so close, it was ridiculous, but I was ecstatic at how hard it was to solo this. I did it once before and it didn't seem this hard, but I was sure wrong. So what you're going to want to do to start it off is that you're going to want to start off with 100 overheat, or whatever it's called. You're going to want to start off with 100 power, or close to it, and use your 2 immediately on the ship. Any extra damage you get on the ship is crucial. These guys in the front here are the guys you want to kill. They will shoot fire onto the boat and will cause the boat to go down if they are allowed to be up. I made the mistake here in a lot of my fail attempts of me not killing those guys and just ignoring them and moving on. It was a very fatal mistake here. You can see my damage on the ship being extraordinary, but the damage that these ads are putting out, considering that there's 2 to 4 of them, is ridiculous, and I can't keep up with it. So make sure that you dump your power below 100 or exactly at 100. You do not want to overheat like I did there. It extremely hinders you and just is pretty bad. But that 2 damage is going to be the main thing that brings the ship down and really helps you out. So again, this was a fail attempt. I didn't get amazingly close on this one, however, I did my best, and that's pretty much all I could say. Again, this is just the first attempt. This is kind of like a moment for me that I realized that I would not be able to do this that easily, so don't come in here thinking that this is just going to be an easy thing, and don't get frustrated if you don't get it on your first try, because it is not an easy thing to do, and it takes a lot of micromanaging and a lot of just time spent getting every single thing and executing this fight properly. If you're doing this by yourself, if you're doing this with 2 people, it's not as hard, because the shooters can be killed by your other person or whoever, but when you're by yourself, those marksmen will just fire at the ship constantly and set it on fire. You can see here I was really close to killing the ship, and it just didn't take, which was ridiculous to me, but whatever. That was the first attempt, and we're gonna have a little fail montage here right now. I thought I'd take a quick moment on this fail to say that I divulged a strategy in my mind to get out of the cannon and kill the riflemen as soon as they popped up. That strategy did not work out in the slightest. You can see I did it terribly, and the ship died so fast. It was ridiculous, so if you're thinking that that might work a little bit better, it might for ranged, but for melee, it did not work out, so I thought I'd throw that in there. Another quick note here, I went DPS for the rest of this. I figured the damage on the riflemen would be more important than my survival, and that was a thing that really pushed it over for me. I did not get it on this one, but you can see what I did and see where I made my mistakes. I did not have the rocket pack on my action bars. Something that I would highly recommend you do is have it on a quick hotkey. For me, since I don't use my death grip on this fight, I set it to my 1. As soon as I got out of the cannon, I had my 1 ready to go, and I jumped over the ship, and I was able to micromanage my way and go as fast as I could to make sure that I had that mob down as fast as possible. The quicker I could get the mobs down, the better. So that's my little tip for you guys, is to have the rocket pack on a quick action bar, and somehow like have it bound to your 1, 2, whatever your main keybind is, and just use it that way, because it's going to help you out immensely in getting those execution times and making sure that you have key timing for this fight.
Marines! Sergeants! Attack! Dare board my ship! Your death will come swiftly!
So this was the winning attempt. I finally got it on this one, and I'm going to explain my strategy of how I did it. Kind of a summary of what I was talking about in my previous fails. So to kind of summarize what I've done so far is I've gone tank to minimize damage as much as I could. I have tried to go over there as Blood and kill the riflemen as soon as they spawn. I have gone over as Frost and tried to kill the riflemen as soon as they spawn, and that didn't work out. So the strategy that finally worked for me was, here I am going over here and simply doing the fight, which was, for me, getting up to about 90 through 100 power on your number 2, getting up to that point, and once you reach that point, fire, of course, and doing that constantly. As soon as those riflemen spawn and you jump over the other ship to kill the mage, you want to kill those riflemen as well. You want to try and get down these front 2 here that I'm in the cannon shooting at. You want to try and get those down pretty low so that when you jetpack over there, like you see me doing here, it might take you a few times to get the jetpack to work, which was BS in my opinion. That's the way you want to do it, is right like that, to be able to knock them out in a single swoop to minimize time over there and minimize their time destroying your ship. As soon as I was done with that, I went right back over and continued the fight, and this is what happened back and forth. It is completely rinse and repeat. Do not, for me at least, do not get out of the cannon to kill the riflemen that spawn. Just wait until the mage freezes the cannon, so when you jump over, you want to kill the rifleman. That is a strategy that worked for me. It took me, I don't know how many tries that was, to finally get that and divulge that strategy, which seems ridiculous. I didn't think of it in the first place, but that is what I used, and that is what worked for me. So I hope it works just as well for you guys. And you can watch the rest of this win. It was amazing that you can solo this now, but the things that you have to do to solo it is just ridiculous. Having a high amount of damage burst on the rifleman is also extremely helpful. I thought I'd include that little nugget there. Me being able to almost one-shot them with Obliterate was a just amazing thing. So, and that's it. The fight's over, and we won. Make sure to pay attention to the dialogue to make sure that you actually won and you didn't like jump over to the other ship and try to kill the mage when you didn't have to. So that is Gunship for you.
Champion, watch your backs. The surge have been got. Join me, fucker. Join me and we'll cross this world today, my surge. My glory, have the lifting. My boy died at the Bradgate. I'm here only to collect his body. Still, what chance you have? It's stronger and more powerful than ever were. We named him Dranosh. It means part of Drillor, you wish. I would not let the war stick him. My boy will be safe, hidden away by the elders of Galadar. I'm in the process of his mother before she died, that I would cross the dark portal alone. Whether I lived or died, my son would be safe, untainted. Today, I fulfill that promise.
Deathbringer Saurfang is the last boss in this video, and he is simply put a tank in spank. They have nerfed him in terms of his blood power, or I believe it's called blood power, that he regenerates. You can see here, I think he caps out for me when I kill him at about 30 to 40 blood power. He has been nerfed to the ground and is pretty easily soloable now. So keep that in mind. He is a joke. You can see here, I literally just DPS him down. When his ads spawn, I use my Pestilence ordeal, and I dot him up and just let my dots take care of him. They are not a big deal, and they don't do that much damage, as you can see here. They don't regenerate near as much blood power as they used to, so you don't even have to worry about the mark that he puts on people. And that's pretty much the gist of this fight. There's nothing too scary about it. When he does reach 20% health, he enrages and does a little bit more damage and is fast with his attacks, but you don't really have to worry about that too much because his damage is so low. His debuff that he puts on you is a dot, which is, I believe, it's boiling blood, and his rune debuff that he puts on you, the name of it escaped me. I think it's Rune of Blood. When he puts that on you, it is not a big deal either. It heals him up for a small amount of damage, but nothing that you can't out-damage unless your DPS is ridiculously low and your damage is pretty low. Then out-damaging that little heal shouldn't be an issue, especially if you're a tank. You will dodge and parry a lot of his attacks, which means that he doesn't get to heal. So that's Saurfang for you, and we are done with part 1 of this video. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like rating below. If not, that's fine, and let me know what you'd like to see next out of raid guides after ICC. I am looking forward to bringing out part 2, and I believe part 2 is going to be Plague Quarter. So that's going to be interesting to see how Putricide goes. That's my only concern. That's it. Thanks for watching.